it's the heart that kind of starts the journey.
The guy in Ecuador, my first mission with IRT, we did a cataract surgery on him. And on the next day, they have a patch on their eye. And on the next day, we removed the patch. And so right away, they can see. And this guy, when we removed the patch, he looked at his wife and he said, "Oh, you're still as beautiful as when I first met you."
There was one house that we built for an old fella. He must have been 80 years old, and he showed us a picture of what his house looked like before the hurricane hit. And he was so overwrought with what the team had done for him and the opportunity that he had now for a very lovely home.
We actually had 5 or 6 children from local orphanages that we took care of, and many of them had significant hearing problems. There was one that needed some significant inner ear surgery in order to improve his hearing. He came through the surgery just fine, but that's an example of the sort of medical care that here is so easily treated with going to your local physician and getting antibiotics for a 10-day course, whereas down in a country like Honduras, a simple ear infection can turn into long-term hearing loss and perhaps even set the stage for meningitis.
The experience in Haiti was, I'd say, unlike anything else I had experienced in the past. It was one of the most devastating disasters that I had been involved in, and there was so much death and destruction. There was a child that I took care of that I think was all over CNN because he was found after about 8 days. And he was an amazing little child, and his remaining family was very grateful for him being found and being healthy.
I found out that this woman, just before Hurricane Katrina had hit, about a year before Hurricane Katrina had hit, she had lost her husband, and that put her into depression. And then she loses half of her house due to Hurricane Katrina, and this drove her deeper into depression. And by us being in the house helping to reconstruct it, and just us being there, talking with her and being around her, I could see her livening up.
When we were flying into Gulfport, which is from how we generally got to that area, we crossed over Louisiana and the beginning parts of Mississippi. And as you came lower into the ground, you looked it appeared as though you were flying over Southern California with all the pools in the backyards. Except there weren't pools, these were blue tarps of the roofs that were still there, but with massive holes.
And at the end of the week, her house was fully re-drywalled. We had replaced the floor, and she was laughing, and her whole personality had changed.
All the patients we did were blind. We don't operate on simple early cataracts like in San Diego, where you operate on somebody because they cannot see the golf ball. Over there, they cannot walk, they cannot do anything. I remember a special lady, that she has not seen her grandchildren for 10 years. And of course, she has held them and, talked to them. And then the day after, of course, she's seeing her grandchildren. So of course, makes us feel wonderful too.
I would say the most touching trip I've been on was Guatemala. We were down there fitting people for distance vision, reading glasses, sunglasses. And for them, it's a difference between being able to work and not being able to work. Textiles is really big down there. So I met a number of women that I fitted for reading glasses who could no longer work because they couldn't see the needle, the thread. For these people, it is actually life-changing.
Really, the most impressive person was Ishmael, and he was 46 years old, and he had a 2-inch gap, which you can just imagine, The teeth are crooked, the gum is exposed. You wonder how he could eat, have a living, have a life even, in a country where cleft lip and cleft palate are considered the work of an evil spirit or a curse. He recovered well, and we had a nice chat afterwards, and he introduced us to his wife. He has 6 children. It's just amazing. That took a lot of courage, and I think I'll carry him in my heart for a long time.
When I travel to these countries and I see these people, I usually question myself, what makes me different from them? You know, how come I'm so blessed, I'm so lucky to live where I live, to have what I have, to have the opportunities that I have, that they don't have.